Hello and welcome to a quick look. This time we are looking at Titanium Court. I'm just moving my gain back up to where it normally is. Somehow it got reduced. So, Titanium Court. I'll just quickly read the description. A surreal strategy game for clowns and criminals. That's it. So, let's jump in and learn the game. Begin. Right. A man steps on stage and taps a microphone. Good evening. Before we begin the game, there's a few announcements. First, due to unexpected circumstances, the part of player will be performed by an understudy. A couple of audible groans and one muffled boo erupts from the audience. Now, there's no need for this. This kid may not be a star yet, but I've seen her rehearse, and I can guarantee that she'll impress you. She may not have time to memorize any of her lines, but, well, neither have any of you. Second, we'd like to warn you that this production features a significant amount of obscenity. But before all the parents in the audience begin covering their child's ears, know this. This stage is enchanted, such that the obscenities can only be heard by those with sufficient emotional maturity to handle hearing them. And finally, the writing room would like to issue an apology for failing to complete the script for this performance. They are working on it as I speak, so it is my pleasure to announce that tonight's performance is also a race. Who will win? The writers furiously working to finish the script, or the performers attempting to perform it? I can't answer that question, but I can announce that the race begins now. We hope you enjoyed the game. Where should you start? You were walking through the woods when the world around you shattered. This was both alarming and inconvenient. Isolated on a lone stretch of ground, you began transfixed at the broken landscape begins to rearrange itself. It's going to turn it down a touch. Let's do 10. Right. That is very loud. Let's move that across. Let me drop the volume down a lot. And then put you back at 8. Let's try that. Make that 6. Your eyes follow the trees and the hills, collapsing in lines of 3. So lines of 3. So let's do forests. You dare not move your position as the ground beneath your feet quivers in anticipation. Sure. Dare not move your eyes. Past this time away, no, so sway for below. So, alright, make that. Until the court slid into view. First, your eyes won't shut your eyes, but there's a great shining structure among the rolling landscape. Let's turn it up. Let's make these highly legible and reduce the shaking. A shelter. You keep your eyes on it, hoping it would draw close enough that you might peer inside. So, surprisingly, the cut appears to move freely through the look, describing lines of 3. Lurched. With a little one in the forest snapped back together, someone pulled the knot of reality tight once again. Except by now, it wasn't the forest that you knew, it was hardly even a forest. You stood stretched and began to hike towards the cot. Ooh. A.P. Thompson presents. Later, whilst the sun hovered low over the horizon, there was a feast within the walls of the court. Hoping to avoid any attention, you just sought a more isolated part of the hall. An empty table near the exit where no one could pay you much mind. A sound plan except. The hall was soon overflowing with people, and your table was no exception. The young man sit to your right began engaging you in idle conversation. The weather, how you found the meal, the role of the individual in society, how you prefer to make your bed, those sort of subjects. Eventually he inquired about how you came to arrive at the court, which answers my question quite thoroughly, which raises many more, he said, that includes your tale. But forgive me, you haven't actually finished your story, have you? You admit there's a bit more, though you have yet to make sense of it. Intriguing. People within the court were earnest but odd. After your arrival, you attempted to get some answers about your whereabouts and the strange circumstances outside, except they spoke mostly in riddles and nonsense, don't they? They did. Let's find out where you are. A man rested in the shade of the well. A woman in the helmet. Let's do that one then. Said the man, whoa, pal, before you ask me any questions, you've got to know my deal. My deal is I only answer questions you haven't answered. So as to where we are, no can do. Sorry, can't tell you. But what are we doing? Oh man, we're at the court of fairies, on a quest to find our missing queen. He looked to both sides and then said, so let me know if you see her. Just don't ask me where she is. Next, you. Hold on, are you taking it seriously? Going to tell me about every individual conversation you had in excruciating detail? Sure. Yes. He learned about how many people played a part and what happened next. Fine, fine. A woman doing her taxes. Said the woman, I would love to tell you where we are, friend, but I haven't figured out where we aren't. She gestured at the stack of mats on the table behind her. We're not in any of those places. Or at least we weren't. Who knows what is true now that the tide hasn't come in. You attempted another tactic, hopefully to glean some info. Perhaps she could tell you the name of this place. Oh, we just call it the court. Its full name is the Court of, something like Court of Aluminium, begins with a T. The Court of Tungsten? I don't know. I'm new here, and I'm bad with names, but at least I can give you mine. I'm Robin. She held out a hand where you shook it as you introduced herself. Now, if you excuse me, I should try to sort this out before the tide settles again. Blackboard discussing magnetic. Appeared seminar of some sort taking place in the courtyard. A seminar on magic, if you understood the text on the blackboard correctly. So, okay, so first you take a metaphor and then you stretch it really thin, right? Right, like really thin, so thin. You forget its original person and you just inflate it. Right, just inflate the metaphor. I prefer to use my lungs for that, so that's as it's inflating, you twist it like, hang on, like so. Still following? I think so. And hold on. Ta-da! It resembles a dog, a delight for children and such. Okay, what happened to the metaphor? It's a lovely little balloon dog now. I see. That seems a bit busy. They seem a bit busy, so you left them. Last one, a small cat. Meow. Small cat. Meow. Your questions are numerous but inconsequential, for they overlook the current crisis. Meow? What crisis? Why, the crisis whereby my dinner is late? Meow? It's so late, in fact, that I'm not certain the concept of dinner isn't something I've invented in a fugue of hunger. More. All other societal issues are mere trivialities in comparison to my plight. Purr. Please, stranger, might you fill the bowl? Thus ending this ravenous standoff. A woman behind you laughed. Oh, don't listen to him. He's been fed twice already. So what now? Castle. Look. Finding no immediate answers inside, you look at the top of the walls and look outside. Perhaps there was someone you could see and shed your light on the situation. To the contrary, conditions outside the world were stranger than they were at the time of your arrival. The rest of the shattered landscape has now melted away. The court stood alone amidst a void. But not for long. Like a rush of water, new surroundings began to surround. Much of the topography was familiar to you. Fields, water, woods, hills. But there's menacing groups of other courts were also part. You were not alone in noticing these. Someone shouted, "The war! The war! The war is here!" That can't be. Puck said no wars until we find the Queen. Then perhaps he should explain that to them. Surrounded by the enemy on both sides, the court began to pray. A man stepped forward and offered first prayer. Generally wish no harm upon our enemy. I merely pray they fade into obscurity so we can get rid of them like this. Like this. But thanks. A woman named Robin offered the next prayer. My notes are quite clear on this. Prayer does not work. Our time is better spent steering the court. Remember, these soldiers cannot cross water. We should try to take shelter behind a moat until the tide comes in. So move moat, right next to a castle. There's a river that protects us from nearly half the field. Hills should also slow their advance. So for the next prayer belongs to the cat. Meow. So long as they're making demands, then my wish is to be fed. Food. Psst. Hey. Yep. You probably didn't notice something happening over here. What's happening is by matching field, the court has just required some more food. So you get some more. I'm assuming those are hammers, water, and gold. Now, another Pharaoh's court will tell you this. Their religion forbids them from acknowledging the existence of the user interface. But I am a secular tooltip. I fear no god. I will do my best to provide you with this vital intel. You're welcome. More of that, please. Food? Food. Robin and Bruno lost them out, and then we've... why even bother? Scholars at the Black Bar now chimed in. We have identified the most strategic location. This spot right here. Oop. Sitting pretty. Right. Stop the clock. It's low tide. We have time for only one more move. Hello again. So the clock is unnecessary in progress by the end of your vision. Every move you make will deplete some remaining time. So food. Well, that's a start. Apologies. Previous move changed because of this. Earned some bonus time. If I've got a fairy, this might be a miracle itself. But with no such chance, the next fair can be the last one. Eventually begins to you. Right, okay. So there. So that would do 4. Let's do that. No. Places everyone. Windows shuttered, doors slammed, throngs of people emerged from inside and formed a line near the gates. A tap on the shoulder, one of the scholars. We could use some help in the dressing room if you have a free hand. Along with the scholars, introduced you as Hop and Skip. You sorted through a large pile of costumes, props, and weapons. Check the tag. Thick and hold. Farmer. Worker, fairy. Right. And how? Click to use. Farmer's apparel. And to serve the harvesting wheat, they whistle as the front gate. Deploy another farmer. Now let's see if one fits anybody. Bundle armor weapon to the next person in line. You test the weight of the weapon. I haven't received any training, so I'm just planning to hit anything that doesn't belong to us. The scholars continue though it finished. Abysmal phase best we can do. A small mercy, at least, that the Queen isn't here to witness this. And so you wait for the others for the battle to commence. I must leave. This is the undo button. Change mode time to stand in battle. However, official editor. Right. When you're ready to lose, press the play. Now I will leave you in peace. So, click and hold the button over the tile. Right. Don't have enough gold here. Play. Play. Yeah, we're gonna die. Dead end. Okay. Wine, okay. And then, sometime later, as the sun hovered low over the horizon, there was a feast within the walls of the court. The man to your right is beside with laughter. Okay, so I caught off guard by a sudden war. Stumbles behind enemy lines, made a token attempt at resilience, and was suddenly toppled. Do I have that right? Yes, that appears to be an accurate summary. Well then, I'm certainly glad I slept through that. As you look at your surroundings, a switch flips in your mind. Your story made a little sense now that you think of it. How did you... Don't worry about it. If our court couldn't withstand physical destruction, we wouldn't last 5 minutes in the pull of the tide. But enough of that. It's about time I made some introductions. As you narrowly avoided learning, this place is called Titanium Court. Meanwhile, I have the honour of being the steward of the court. My name is Puck, although my lovers and enemies call me Goodfellow. I am chief advisor and friend eternal to our fair queen. As fancy as it sounds, its practice it means unemployed. One of the scholars, the man named Hop, has approached your table. He appears to have a drink or two, or four. He pulls up a seat between two of you and assumes a jovial attitude. Guess the queen stood us up, Goodfellow. Look for her, I'd say. I'd skip town too if I knew what a sorry showing this coat would make. But on the plus side, we continue draining her wine cellar. Now, is you going to help with me, Goodfellow, or are you going to stare at me? I don't mind either way. Puck stared at the scholar, mouth agape, slowly intakes and pinches his nose. What fools! How drunk are you, Hop? The queen is right there. Been speaking to her for this entire feast. And Satan hush falls over the hall. Oh, I see it now, those calls. Her Majesty's fine vintage. I'll be right back. As Hop makes a quick exit, you look steadily at Puck and shake your head. No use denying it now. That not after you told me. If you like more proof, just take a look at where you're seated. You slowly take in your surroundings. The head of the table. Puck, now, if you conclude introductions, let me present the court to your majesty likewise. He stands up and addresses the entire hall as he says, long absent, the queen of Titanium Court, always a stranger, has arrived. Cheers erupt and dessert is served. So weird. To your left, Hop returned with a handful of glasses and bottles. And about time too, Goodfellow. Did you tell her about the war yet? Titanium Court. Place. Chapter 1. The place belonged only to clowns and criminals. And then, just a short while after the feast, the court returns to war. You're in charge of the war now, Majesty. You should be fine. Just remember everything we taught you about magical warfare. Blinking slowly, you remind them at this exact moment they have taught you roughly nothing. Ah, good, she remembers quite clearly. Okay, we got a new one. Consult the ever-changing map. Okay, you don't know what this means. Especially available units? No, not yet. Right. So get rid of that. Move that down. Move that across. What are you? So that down. So that's got a moat. Inspect any available units. So we can't do anything yet. So we need more gold. It's 2. So another one would be good. Haven't got long. Right. Prepare for battle. Bam. 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 Work. Work. That's all I can do. We've got a lot of rivers in the way. So we're in a good position here. No one's come out yet. Slam dunk. Stop. Well, have now achieved some kind of victory in the war. You wonder if someone in the court might help you return home. It would be our pleasure if you could show us the way. Also, that was only one battle. There's many more to come. My notes are to be entrusted. Okay, well, if you understand our map correctly, if this even is a map, there appears to be some sort of signage ahead. Perhaps if you reach those signs, you'll learn a way to get home. And reach them, we need merely to swept forward by the tide, as we have been all along. Convenient. Right, again. Okay, so get rid of this. We've got a safe here, so move that. So rocks. Okay. Move that there. Get rid of them. You. Get rid of you. And you. And more you. Damn, I've got a big line there. Alright. Taking a look inside the storage unit. But it's locked. We'll try. Going to get one farmer. Going to get some enemies shortly. Should be okay. Annoying that they don't go back and defend. Stop. Right, we've got rid of that. Alright, okay, so they've got troops now beside them. Right. Still only got them. Right, so we need more gold, so first of all, let's do that. Let's move that away. Then we need some fuel. Don't know what you are. Wait, aren't some of those empty? Some are enemies with soldiers and courts. Though there are plenty of them appear empty. You think you might assume they're... Yes. Enemy soldiers. Right, so basically get rid of these ones. And that will help. Get rid of them. We need another gold. So grab that. Do the 5. Get rid of you. got some more rivers in now. Need another water, really. And there's another gold. Another land. Right. We're in. Okay. So, water. 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 Hi. We're actually okay because we're in the water. I didn't have to spend everything. Oh, there is an enemy there, but we're okay. We kept him out. Whoop. Done. Time. 18. Menacing bird cage suddenly appears in front of the court. Your Majesty, I have notes on this file. Let me know if you'd like to see them. Sure, let's have a look. What I'm going to say first, at the start of low tide, the bird cage will flood its surroundings with water. Follow that, the bird cage will attack the courts with birds. Fighting, it might prove tricky. If it's always surrounded with water, the court soldiers will be unable to reach it. You agree, you wonder if there's another approach the court can take. Either way, you thank Robin for information. So basically, surround it with not with water then. So first of all, let's get rid of that. Let's move that in. Get rid of you. There is a chest resting on that patch of land. We should be able to cover it as contents as long as it remains in sight until low tide. Right, so let's get rid of some more water then. We need some fields nearby. I don't have many moves available to me. That. 1, 2, 2, 1. So, there's a way. There's several here though. 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. No, that's not gonna work. Ooh. 4, 3. Right, there we are. So we've already got 2 next to us, but we've got quite a bit of money, so we should be reasonable. Open. Sell all of them. Right, we get some of the birds. Get. Chest is empty, you should shut them. Right. Fight. So that cost me gold. I'm assuming they're better. So what we'll do is burp, 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 burp. Farmer, farmer. I can't really grab any more, so we'll do that. Hopefully, we're in a reasonable condition. No, we're not. Might be able to survive it. Come on. 6 health. 2 health. Nope. That's a dead end. More wine. With time and repetition comes comfort. Feel your maximum level of comfort increases to 1. Okay. Next morning, you wake in a strange bed. The bed is strange, not just because it's not your usual bed, but because it's also not the bed you fell asleep in. Puck told you any room within the cot might be the Queen's, so you parted with him at the first room you found that wasn't already occupied. A small chamber beneath a staircase, a twin-size bed neighboured by a nightstand and a lamp, and a small desk in the corner, no windows. Meanwhile, the bed you awake in is a queen-sized and contains a spacious chamber that opens on a balcony. Ew. The balcony overlooks the court on your new home that appears to be 5 stories above the ground. Geez. What we got? Look over the scant possessions that were on your person when you arrived. Appears everything you left it with one is irritating exception. Sometimes between your arrival and now you have misplaced your keys. In a way, you managed to misplace the locks for those keys. A mystery, admittedly, of much greater concern to you than the missing keys. Explore. What should you do next? Right, I'm going to leave it there. We've hit the 30-minute mark. I'm probably going to play some more off screen and have a look at this game. It's very different to what I would normally play, which is a good thing. It's held my attention quite well for this first 30 minutes, but this is a very different game. Very obscure strategy. You don't really have an end point, which is good, and it's very different with the AP Thompson. It's very Undertale in a way. Obviously, match 3, you'd think it'd be simple, but there's quite a lot of strategy elements to it, which is very intriguing. So I'm very happy to have tried this. As a disclaimer that I forgot to add at the start, but it will be in the video description. This has been a code that has been provided to me, so it has been a fun little game. I will jump into this again and put in some more information in the video description about my thoughts, but that has been the first 30 minutes. It's definitely worth a pickup, and hopefully you'll explore a bit more than I have today. Alright, so £8.76 at the moment. It is on discount until 7th of May on Steam. I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.